we're going to continue with the switch statement. We're going to talk about some other little things that you can do with it. And if you remember last class or last lesson, we built one, we checked grade. This break becomes a very important piece because it says when I get done with this, when I found A in here, I'm going to go ahead and break out. I don't want to continue checking. Remember for our if statements, when it first finds something true, it doesn't check anything else. Well, that's not the case with a switch. If I find a true statement, it doesn't automatically leave. So the break is what triggers it to go on to the next one. So what I want to do is I want to create another method inside of here, and we're going to play around with a little bit with the break part of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to stick with static. So public static. And this one's not going to return anything, and we're going to buy something. So we're going to buy something. So let's go ahead and ask the person over here. So let's go ahead and put our scanner in here, and we're going to say enter bank balance. And we're only going to work with integers, so I'm going to go ahead and let it bring it in as a number here. So we're going to go ahead and change some of the code inside of here. So we're going to balance. And again, I'm going to do this with an integer, not with a double. Doubles are going to create some problems. But now that I have it coming in as a string, I'm going to need to convert that number coming in, value of, and we're going to put in whatever comes in. So if I type something wrong, it's going to break, and maybe I'll show you that piece again just to make sure we understand what's happening. But right now they're going to type in a bank balance as an integer, and we're going to store it as balance. And we're going to now switch on the balance. Okay. And we're going to build the structure there. So we're going to switch on that. And we're going to say case equals let's say 1,000. So if it comes in at equals 1,000, bank equals 1,000, we are going to system out buy a stereo. I don't know if people still buy stereos, but we can go ahead and buy a stereo. If you happen to have $500 in your account, we can go ahead and buy a PS4 video game system. And if you have $250, let's see here, $250, we can buy, let's see, we can buy an iPad, cheap iPad maybe. And we'll put a couple more down here. And we can go ahead and we'll say for 50 bucks, you can buy a movie. And then we still got to put our defaults. We're going to put our default down here, and we're going to say, let's see, need to save more. Let's do something like that. Need to save more. Okay, so now we have a structure here, and if you remember what we did last time, if switch equals 1,000, we can buy a stereo. If balance equals 500, we can buy a PS4, and so on down the line. So let's go ahead and run this. This is called our buy. So over in start, we're going to use our class name because again, it's still static. And we're going to do buy, and we don't want to run the top line up here. So let's go ahead and run this. Enter our bank account balance, and we're going to put in $900. Need to save more. So notice it's not looking for ranges, it's looking very specifically for an equal sign. So if I run this again and I put in my 1,000, I can go ahead and buy a stereo. So it's going to do a very literal, does this equal that? Does balance equal 1,000? Now let's say that I wanted to say, okay, if I have $1,000 in there, I can buy a stereo, a PS4, an iPad, and a movie. Well, if that's the case, I don't want to break out after each one of these. I only want to break before I get down to need to save more. So now if I put in 1,000, it's going to say, okay, case equals 1,000, I can buy a stereo, I can buy a PS4, I can buy an iPad, and I can buy a movie. I can buy all four of these things for $1,000 because I'm not leaving it. Unlike an if statement, when I found a true statement, I don't check any of the other ones. Well, without that break now, it's just going to continue running down here. It's not going to check if this is true, or if this is true, or if this is true. It's just going to go ahead and skip those and work my way down here. So if I go ahead and run this now, and I put in my 1,000, there I can buy all four items. And if I run it again and I put in only 500, it finds true at the PS4 line. So it finds this, so this one's not true, which means it doesn't run, but this one becomes true, and then all the rest of these are going to run until I get down to a break. So once it finds a true statement, it goes into that piece of it and it runs everything else until it gets a break, no matter what cases that it overrides. Now, if I don't put a break here at the bottom, you can probably guess what's going to happen. It's actually going to print out all four of these, and it's also going to print out need to save more. Let's go ahead and run that. And if I put in 1,000, I can buy a stereo, PS4, iPad, movie, and I need to save more. So those breaks can be very useful in terms of what you're trying to accomplish. And just know that these are equals. Balance equals 1,000. If I try to put this, I'm going to put it one more time in here. If I put in 9,000 or 999, it doesn't go, oh, that's close to 1,000. That just drops down to default because there is no equals 999 anywhere inside of here. So that's a drop through. You can break out putting the break wherever you want, and you can mix and match that to produce some pretty nice results. Okay, thank you very much.